it finally feels like progress is made, and I have some great news. But I think let's take the rest of this video upstairs to my office, because Milo is still a little bit of a distraction. Say hi to everybody and bye to everybody. I'm gonna do the rest of the video upstairs, okay? All right, upstairs. Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel, and the big news is, and if you're new to the channel, you might not have noticed this, but if you're here for a couple of weeks now, I've been searching for a name for the new project, the squad project, and I finally have the name. It's pretty amazing. It covers all the boxes, it checks all the boxes, covered everything. Yeah. That name is
a name for the game.
Dude, I'm working towards a moment. Can I have a little moment here?
Have a moment. Yeah. Has a name.
So
it comes.
Regulator City. That's. Thank you for. The moment is gone.
Sorry.
Regulator City.
He has a name.
That's the name I came up with. I wanted to call it Regulators, but now that we have this whole city building stuff adding to the game and happening, it just had to have city in the name somewhere, because all city builders seem to have city in the name.
City.
Regulator City. You're regulating the city. You're not so much police or special forces. You're more on the edge of the law. You can do things that aren't really allowed, just to make sure that certain gangs don't get too powerful, or maybe make sure other gangs get more powerful, and that way you're growing the city and building the city, which is called Regulator City. It really checks all the boxes. And in Discord somebody mentioned to make the A in Regulator the Anarchy logo, which just adds even more context to the whole name, link to the game, because it's anarchy in this city. So Regulator City, I'm pretty happy with this name.
He's happy with it. I don't know, he's happy. Let him be happy.
I am happy with this. He's happy with this name. I was happy with it. I'm happy with the name. Still happy with. I'm 95% sure, 96, 97, 90, I'm fairly certain this will be the final name of the game. Anyway, we now have a name that we can work with. So I can set up a Steam store page, I can set up, work towards a Kickstarter maybe, I'll talk about that in a minute. I can also set up a website and all that stuff.
Oh, hang on, website. You mentioned a website?
Yeah, I mentioned website, I have a name, so I can set...
Alright. You can do. I got XSolla on the line. You can do a website. You can do this video. Yeah, I'll ask.
I know what you are gonna ask.
Do that thing.
The business guy, dude, clone, whatever he is, wants me. This is good for the channel, good for everything. So here we go.
Here he goes.
Pretty happy with this. This. Let me just
do it. Come on.
This video is sponsored by XSolla.
Yeah.
Luckily, making a website doesn't need to take long or be difficult at all. XSolla created a code-free tool with templates designed specifically for games and game developers named XSolla Site Builder. You can click, drag and drop different components and fully customize the site to match the theme and setting of your game. You can optionally also add a store for selling game keys, pre-orders, virtual items and of course share updates. To make it even easier, you can import assets from Steam, which saves you have to do things twice. And there is no cost to start using it. You just head over to xsolla.pro/orangepixel and sign up for a free publisher account to begin. So quick and easy, leaving more time for game development. Alright, so let's talk about Regulator City. A lot of progress made this week and it's now really starting to feel like a game. I had this last week when I added the hostage mission. I've just been improving on that, but also how enemies respond to you. And breaching doors was in the game, but we can now also sneak into buildings or rooms so that the enemy is not alerted by loud noises. And that way you can take them out. You can actually position your squad members at a spot, because as soon as you rescue the hostage, there will be a swarm of enemies coming into the building directly for you, because they know where the hostage was and they know the hostage is taken, so we need to get there. So they're
moving towards you. And if you place your other team or your second team at the right spot, you can just pick them out as they enter the door, and that way we finally have some tactical and strategy type things going on. I'm just going to show you a little bit of gameplay right now and talk you through it. So here we go. Alright, so the city level area stuff hasn't changed since last week, or at least I don't think I added anything, except maybe I improved the interface a little bit. I removed the title bar because it was just unused clutter, and it's great to see the name of the city, but it has no real point there. Maybe just when we start the mission it will show the name, but it should fade out and be gone. This is now all actually linked to buildings. This was random information just to figure out what I want in these little dialogue boxes, and it's now actually a part of these buildings. So if we go to this building, there is now the Hoods gang. These names are now also all set. So these type of guys will always be the Hoods, and these type of guys will always be the Clowns, or maybe the Masks. They can be part of two actually. The mission is not correct just yet. That's still random information, but this also dictates how our enemies will be looking when we enter these buildings. There will be a little variation because else it will just be very boring. So the Clowns can have 2 or 3 different faces. Same goes for the Hoods. They can have a couple of different variations. But what you see here is what you're gonna get when you dive into a mission. So let's dive into the mission. The sewer is active again, and we can now enter the door. Don't think I showed this last week, not sure, but we now have this small apartment. All the missions will be very fairly small areas, because I really like how you can have a good overview of this, and we can just create very difficult missions by making these guys a lot tougher to handle. So for now, let's just, well, we can only go through this door to start with. There are still bugs, like they're trying to shoot through the walls. Lots of stuff that needs fixing, but we're getting there. Let's open the door, and we can just breach because these guys are gonna see us anyway. So breach the door, move away a little bit, and you'll see they now come after us because I gave them more intelligence, so they will actually hunt us down, which can be a very good advantage for us because we'll know they'll be coming for us, and we can just make sure we position ourselves at the right spot. I know I'm gonna save this hostage, and they will be entering the building to stop us, so we're gonna defend this spot, leave those two behind. We'll open the door slowly or softly, silently, I guess. We can just leave the hostage for a bit and collect stuff. Go to the toilet if there is a toilet. There's nothing here. There should be a toilet because there's a shadow. Like I said, bunch of bugs. I also wanted to be able to breach this by using some sort of detonator or bomb or something that you can actually make your own door, so that we could lure them over there, and then we could leave this door and escape through that door. But for now, that's not possible, so we're just gonna rescue the hostage, and you'll notice that will be people coming in from the bottom left. Let me adjust the camera a little bit. I now made it such a way that they can actually come as a swarm, so they all spawn at the same spot and will be hunting us down. And here they come, but our team down there is doing a great job of defending the area, and we will be able to go out there with our hostage alive and pretty easily escape. This is the new mission results screen I'm working on. I'm not sure what's going to be on here. For now, I just like to have a bunch of stuff there to see what we're going to need and how it should look, and if it looks okay. There will be something like the missions: rescue mission 100% completed, escape mission done. There are 0 casualties, collectibles. Well, that's gonna be all the stuff you can collect, or maybe just important things, and kills will the amount of enemies you killed. Like I said a few weeks ago, I really want some sort of arcadey feeling to this game, and a screen like this usually does the trick. But also we could use these results and calculate what type of buildings you'll be allowed to place in the city. So good results will let you build bigger buildings, and bad results might make you build worse buildings, or no buildings at all, or see buildings get destroyed and get old or whatever. This is all going to be tied into the city building aspect of the game. There will be something like civilians. Did you leave all civilians alive, or did you kill civilians? In that case, this is not going to be a good neighborhood, and people might not start living there. So it will also turn into a slum, which will bring in other type of gangs, and you might want to go for the richer gang because that will also improve your city. So it's all vague because that's how it's in my head right now, but there's gonna be logic there eventually. So that's pretty much how missions play out right now, and let's just see if we can find another type of building. Not sure where he's going, but we're just gonna go into the door. All right, storage room. I think I've showed this a couple of times already. Let's just quickly move up. You'll now also notice exclamation marks above these heads. If they are aware of you, they will suddenly show you that they are. Let's move them to defend here. And let's enter the door silently. Let's open this one silently. Let's rescue the guy. And see if we can actually survive making it out. This mission is actually slightly more difficult than the apartment mission because there's just a lot of enemies spawning. And it's gonna be a problem getting out without losing somebody. So the mission is still to make sure that our hostage makes it out alive. And the best way to do that is to make sure we make it out alive. Now there goes one of the guys. We can still revive him. I'm probably gonna limit the amount of revivals you get per soldier. So that, or maybe an X amount of medikits, or I'm not sure yet, but making them, but allowing them to be revived infinitely is probably not a good gameplay tactic. So we made it out alive. Let's get out of here. And that's really how the missions are playing so far. I also started work on the HQ building. This is your actual base, and we can now enter this base. There's not a lot here just yet, but we'll have to see what we'll put in here. Maybe you can gear up, do some training over here and improve your squad members. Improve their skills like firing range or whatever. This is going to be a base with a bunch of stuff, and maybe if you have intelligence from a mission, you have to go back to the base, give it to one of the computer or the tech guys. They will process it, and that will then allow you to build more buildings in the city, or go into new areas in the city, or get new missions. A bunch of things that I still need to figure out, but this is starting to look like a game. So progress is being made, and I'm very relieved with that. I mentioned this last week. Summer months and my creativity just clash. It doesn't work for some reason. And with Residual last year was a lot easier because I was much further into that game. I had everything figured out what to do. I just had to add content and add new stuff. But for this game, there's just so much that I still want to figure out what I'm trying to do and where I want to take this game. And I think I'm now slowly getting there, like very slowly, but I'm getting there. So I'm very relieved, and that's a good thing. But that also brings me to the big question: Kickstarter or not? Now, Residual was my first Kickstarter last year. That was a success. It got funded, which was great. I want to try another Kickstarter. The problem right now is that I don't think running a Kickstarter in December is a good idea, because even though people like to spend a lot of money in that month, probably my Kickstarter won't be at the top of their list. So I want to run the Kickstarter in November. So I want to have a page up and running in October so that people can start following the project, and we'll have a lot of followers before the project goes live. To have that in October, I also need a playable demo of the game. And right now it's playable and patrons have access to it, but it's not, it needs a lot of extra polish to really show what this game is going to be. Not everybody can see through it, so I need to make sure the game shows a lot of potential. So I need to start wrapping up or building up that demo, and we only have 1 month for that. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the coming couple of weeks. So the main focus now is going to be on getting the demo up and running, getting a Kickstarter page made. Luckily for me, this video goes live on the 26th, I think, as you're watching this. So that means next Monday, Dylan DMac on the Discord will be back doing some internship again for another 4, 5, 6 months. A bunch of months, so he can do a bunch of graphics. I got a huge amount of stuff written down. Right now we have a storage room, scrapyard, a apartment building, the HQ office. I also want a park, maybe a hospital, maybe a laundry room, and just a bunch of different environments that you can play missions in. Maybe an airplane strip thingy, something like huge airplanes with running around. I don't know. We're gonna figure out a bunch of interesting areas, and he'll be able to draw them all. I'll just have to build a bunch of missions, combine those missions with different environments, and then we should have something playable, demo-wise, and interesting. I should also be adding more weapons and things like that, and different type of missions, because just hostage rescues won't work. So like I said, we're regulating the city, so maybe every now and then we'll have to raid a cocaine storage room and just steal all the cocaine or whatever, all the drugs or all the money, get it out of there, so that a certain gang loses some credibility, and then the area that that gang is in increases in wealth and value, and somehow we'll be building a better city by regulating it. I don't know, I just make these things up as I go. But I also want to add some more weird out-of-the-box type things. So maybe this city will have a meteorite crash on it, on a certain block, and that whole block will then get infected by, or infested by, an alien spider thingy that's creating spider webs everywhere, and you have to kill all these spiders in that area, or else nobody will live there and it will spread and your city will turn to alien spider haven or something. So just weird shit like that. And if you have some great ideas, drop them below in the comments. Alright, and I'm gonna wrap up this video reading last week's comments. Maybe whenever giving order, time slows down, that way the player can think properly about the situation. Yeah, I love that idea. I love it so much that it's actually in the game since week 1 of development. I wanted a real-time game, but I didn't want to pause the game for the command stuff. So there is a slow-mo right now. I think the slow motion effect is just too much, so that it almost looks like they're stopping, and maybe I should just give it a little bit more speed so that you have to make your command or your selection slightly faster, or maybe I'll leave it up to the player to change that setting. Don't know yet. It's looking good, Pascal. Thank you. I gave you a shout out in my iArcade review. Love your game. Can't wait to see what you do next. I'll have to check your channel, I guess, for that shout out, and thank you. Another great video, such an action-filled game. Maybe I'll call Go Go Go. Well, interesting name, but luckily I came up with, I think, a better name. Great, is shaping up nice. I really like that Discord bot idea. Also, was Milo named after Milo, or Milo and Otis? I'm not even sure how we came to the name Milo. Just at some point we wanted a kitten, and I think I came up with the name Milo. Maybe I saw it somewhere, read it somewhere, I don't know. But he's now called Milo for the rest of his life. So this is really cool, Team 2D shooter. Thank you. You're an amazing game developer. Thank you. Can you make a tutorial series on creating a 2D platformer in libgdx? I've been thinking about doing some type of educational videos, but I'm not there yet. It's a hurdle I need to take. I need to design a game, explain that whole game process and build process, and create videos about it. I'm not there just yet. Maybe it would be more interesting if you were the villain and the mission would be to kidnap. Yeah, pretty much. You're also gonna have to do those type of missions. You'll at some point have to kidnap maybe the boss or a certain snitch or whatever from another gang, and you're not so much a cop or a villain, you're somewhere in between, and that's why I really like the name Regulator. You're a regulator, and sometimes you have to do stuff that's maybe not nice, and other times you have to do stuff that's that is nice, I guess. Looking cool. Also, I just wanted to ask, what resolution are your sprites from Heroes of Loot? Heroes of Loot, I think the characters are 10 by 10. I think I kept it 10 by 10. Something like that, very tiny. Part 2, they're slightly bigger, but not a lot. They're maybe 14 by 14. They're very tiny overall, but I really like how they look. The cars and civilians are absolutely adorable. Yeah, I was also thinking about adding little buses or maybe just weird vehicles like a big truck that has a rocket that goes somewhere. Just weird stuff so that you can actually watch your mission screen or city screen and see stuff happening. And maybe even see people drop out of windows or skydive or whatever. Just weird type of things happening in the city. It's all gonna be extra though, so I'm not gonna put much time into that just now. But it's gonna happen probably. And that's also it for the comments. Not a lot of comments as I'm recording this video just yet. So please drop a comment on this fix video. Like, subscribe, and I think I covered everything. Alright, see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.